Imagine you had the perfect vocal magic for your next cinematic score. Well, Ethera Gold Atlantis 3 might just be your new secret weapon. Ethera Gold Atlantis went into its next evolution. Atlantis 2 was already the best sample library for cinematic female vocals on the market, and I've been using it in many of my projects. But now, with Atlantis 3, we have 6 different singers, 16 types of true legato instruments, many thousands of vocal phrases, and a new hybrid vocal synth. How cool is that? It's a $50 upgrade for Atlantis 2 owners with a standalone price of $139.95. Check the link down in the description. In this video, we're just going to look at the new stuff in Atlantis 3. I reviewed Atlantis 2 in the video up here. Atlantis 3 contains all content from Atlantis 1 and 2. There's a heroic legato now with A, O, and A articulations. This actually sounds familiar. I think it's the same E articulation like in Ethera Gold 2.5. When you press down the MIDI notes harder, it adds some ornaments. Normal. And ornamented. It's not for every note interval though. There's a fantasy legato, which is less epic and a bit more dreamy, I would say. Oh, they have a really long breath. We have a dark Siren legato. Check this out. It's very melancholic, but when we press down the notes harder, it has these gorgeous slides. It's very nice for like sad funeral songs, maybe in a fantasy universe. Mourning the fallen soldiers on a battlefield or so. It's beautiful. Now we're going to a trip to Italy with a Rome legato. It sounds to me both mystical and in a way like sensual. Pretty much like what I hear in my head when I visit Rome every time and get hungry at night, wandering around trying to find like a gelato store that's still open. Now we go to Venice with the Venezia legato. A crystal clear, gorgeous tone without any vibrato. And we'll play Florence Visit with the Firenze legato. It's very powerful in the high register, very nicely programmed, and it makes you feel like I'm in the middle of a grand theatrical story. One of my favorites from the new patches is the new Syllables Legato. With high velocities, it's a lyrical A articulation. But as you soften the velocities on your MIDI keyboard, it switches to using all sorts of syllables to give the phrase more punctuation. These transitions, these jas and nas and tas, whatever, they can really help you give the illusion that the singer is actually singing something and not just saying ah or oh. It's very useful even though you can't select the individual syllables or control them the way you want. Let's talk about another real gem in this library, the hybrid vocals. how this is so good. It comes with snapshot presets that you can install via a simple installer without having to drag any files manually into folders. It sets Atlantis further apart by blending traditional vocals with electronic elements to create something that you won't find in any other library. Oh, these sounds are to die for. The piano vocals, key instruments, the vocal textures. So beautiful. I'm in love. Hey, speaking of love, if you like what I'm doing here, subscribe to the channel. There'll be more. Mwah. We got some new Elven chants. They work the same as the other chant instruments from Atlantis. It's good to have more variety with a different singer available. I like the legato function of these phrases a lot. So legato means here that you can press new notes and they're sort of integrated into the phrase that they're speaking without re-triggering that phrase from the beginning. You can switch out the phrases here. There are only 6 available, but you can of course combine them by like playing the first part of the first one and then switching by pressing the green key switch or your sustain pedal to the next block to sort of control what they're saying a little bit. But just like with the previous Atlantis, it's not a full syllable builder. And we got more vocal phrases, a lot more, about 750 on top of the thousands available in Atlantis 2. Of course, they come in different keys and tempos, and the yellow key switches also add some atmospheric accompaniment, so you can immediately start playing and be entertained for hours. Like before, you can combine 2 phrases with the legato button and set the starting point of each phrase here. You can then move the offsets around to sort of interweave them in case these gazillions vocal phrases are not enough for you and you want to sort of create your own by combining existing ones. Valkyrie phrases are like Nordic folky, I guess. They're like powerful, they're sung by Clara Sorace, who has a very powerful voice organ. So they make you want to march into battle. We got Aurora phrases, which sound pretty holy, I would say. And my favorite of the new phrases are the ethnic colors, which are just gorgeous. Another highlight of Atlantis 3. From the haunting allure of the dark Siren legato to the romantic undertones of Roma and the pristine clarity of Venezia, each of the new legato patches in Atlantis 3 brings its own unique flavor to my composition, enriching them with emotional texture. Which one do you like the most? Drop a comment below. So yeah, I thought Atlantis 2 was packed with stuff, but now it's insane. Honestly, we're at 35 patches now. Some patches have multiple articulations. Some articulations have multiple layers. Now, do you need 35 patches of a vocal vocal library when composing a track? I don't know, probably not. Are the difference between of the types of true legatos huge? Not always. But it's so good to see that Atlantis 3 went first from one singer in Atlantis 1, then to 3 singers in Atlantis 2, and now we're at 6 singers, each with their own vocal thing going on. I went through each of the 35 patches and each of the 16 legatos, and I can confidently say they're all top-notch. Each and every of them is to the highest standard available on the sampling market right now, both in performance and programming. Atlantis 3 brings some really cool stuff to the table. Things like those slick gliding transitions in the Dark Sirens, the operatic magic in Firenze, and those Syllables Legatos that just add another layer of awesome. The hybrid vocals, they come loaded with about 150 presets and heaps of source material for you to mix, match, and tweak yourself. You've got a whole playground of controls here, wavetables, LFOs, arpeggiators. This is more than just a little addition to the library. It's actually amazing. Is upgrading from Atlantis 2 to 3 worth 50 bucks? Absolutely. New singers, new creative twists in sampling, so many new legatos that must have been a pain to record and program. Honestly, this is my opinion. If only the new content of Atlantis 3 was packed into a separate sample library by some other developer, they would probably charge like 200 bucks for it and nobody would bat an eye. Is Atlantis worth the standalone price of $139.95? If you want cinematic female solo vocals, this is the best thing you can get. Atlantis has come a long way since it first hit the scene. Now there's more than just Clara's voice. As amazing as she is, there's more stuff, and I haven't seen this level of depth in sampling, vocal performances, and legato programming in any other solo vocal libraries out there, except maybe the solo vocals in Audio Imperia Jaeger, but that's just one singer and it's on par, not better, I would say. I know in this video I praised this library a lot. If I had to think what I would like to see improved, it would be nice if it was more clear which notes would have like a second layer in the note attack or in the legato with the ornaments and which don't. I feel like it's a bit of try and error right now, and you have to find out yourself. It's not a big deal, but I guess in an ideal world, every note would have these multi-layers available. I love that we're at 6 singers now, which was one of the biggest points of criticism about the previous installments of Atlantis. But if you want a full vocal package, you're still lacking any male vocals or children's, stuff like this, like you have to still buy a different library for that. And it's still not able to make the singers sing the words that you want. Some people would like to see this, personally I don't care. Just keep in mind that there is no full syllable builder, even though there are some phonemes available. If you have the full version of Contact, you like these sounds for your music, and have the money to spend, that's important, you will not regret it. There is nothing better right now on the market, in my opinion. I wrote a little demo with Ethera Gold Atlantis 3. I reused only the new content from Atlantis 3. Expect some of these nice hybrid vocals with the new piano sounds, expressive melodies, and haunting textures. I'm really keen to see how those of you who already have any version of Atlantis use it in your own work. Why not share your experiences or even a piece you created using this library in the comments? Maybe even share some tips and tricks with each other. Enjoy the Atlantis 3 demo, and I'll see you soon.